Hey, it's Devin and welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe for future updates, and if not, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing a video on how to prepare our toddlers for a new baby. Now that's something hard to do. They're used to being the only one, our first child, our firstborn, all of our attention, so it's a difficult transition for them. So anything that we can do to help them understand and prepare them is going to help. So my son was just 3 when we found out we were pregnant with Isla. And it's a little bit different with my son because he does have a speech delay, so sometimes it's hard for me to gauge how much he understands because the back and forth conversation isn't as much as a normal, not normal 3-year-old, but a 3-year-old without a speech delay. So with my son, one of the biggest things that I wanted to focus on was helping him to understand words like careful, gentle, kind, nice. I wanted him to understand that when the baby comes, we have to be gentle with her. So we really worked on those words with him, and helping him understand that concept of being gentle and being nice. And that helped a lot because now with my daughter, he's always like petting her on the face and kissing her and saying, nice, gentle, easy. So he definitely understands the concept of babies. We have to be gentle, we have to be nice. So that was one major thing that we worked on with him. Another one was, what did we write down? Talking about the baby in my belly. Now at first, obviously when you're newly pregnant, you don't really see a bump, but as the bump was growing, it was obviously a difference, and he noticed the difference. So we would talk about it. We would point to the belly, we would say, baby, there's a baby in there. And then when we saw babies out or friends of ours that had babies, we'd point out the babies so that he understood. We hoped that he would understand the concept of, oh, this is a baby and there's a baby in mama's belly. And then we would tell him the baby's going to be coming home and be staying with us. This is our sister and stuff like that. And he would rub my belly and give it kisses and say, sister, baby. So I really thought that he was getting it until one day he said to me, he was rubbing my belly and goes, baby Zazus? And Zazus was how my son for a long time said dinosaur. So now he says dinosaur correctly, but I immediately realized when he said that he did not understand that it was a baby human in my belly. So I had to explain that to him. He knew there was a baby in there, but was it a baby dinosaur? What kind of baby is it? So I looked up some pictures online, obviously kid-friendly pictures. There were cartoon pictures of babies and bellies. And I really think that helped him get it because then he started pointing out more babies when we were out, or baby girls, babies in the belly. So that was a really good thing. Use pictures. And that goes along with my other, my third one is a lot of people read books to their kids about babies. Now I did try that with my son, but my son has a very specific liking to certain books. So if I start reading a book and he's not interested in it within like the first page or two, he's gone. Not gonna read it, not looking at it. So that didn't really work for me, but I know some other kiddos that are really good about reading books and stories and really enjoy that. That's a really good one to do, is to find some books on babies and pregnancy and families and siblings. But my son rather read Cat in the Hat. He was not at all interested in the books that I was trying to show him about babies. So the fourth one was to get them involved in preparing for the baby. So we actually moved them into one room. My son had his own room. We have 3 bedrooms in my house, but one of them is really small and one's a little bit bigger with more closet space. So we ended up moving both of them into the bigger room just because I have so much family from out of state and out of country. My brothers live in England, my mom's from Holland, so I have grandparents and from Holland, and it's just we have too many guests coming to stay with us that it was just be too much. We needed a guest room. I didn't want to keep moving the kids up and around whenever we have guests. So we put them in the same room, and I made it a point to have a special side of the room for Cullen that had more boy stuff and superheroes, Star Wars, everything that he loves. And then on the other side, we set up the crib, and he was very interested in the crib. And I kept telling him, this is for the baby's sister. She's gonna come sleep here. And every time he walked in his room, he saw the crib. He pointed, baby, baby. And it was the same thing with the bassinet. I had him help me kind of set it up. And he knew this was the baby's bed. This is where she was staying. when we got gifts for the baby or presents for the baby, like clothing and stuff, I'd have him help me put it away in the closet. He knew that this was the baby and the baby was coming. So definitely getting them involved helps them understand and get more excited about the baby coming. Another thing that I did was, not by choice, but because I had him all the time with me, is he came to me on a lot of my doctor's visits. So a lot of my prenatal checkups, he was with me. So the doctor was really sweet and would have him help, like, listen for the baby's heartbeat, or stuff like that, to kind of get him involved. And he came with us for the ultrasounds. I don't know if he could totally understand the ultrasound. It is kind of hard to see. And honestly, a 3-year-old, I don't know how much they really grasp of the baby being in your belly and it's going to come out. And so my focus was more on helping him understand that we are going to have a baby here. Not necessarily the concept of the baby growing in my belly, but it was exciting for him, I think, to hear the heartbeat. I do think he understood that. So bringing the babies to the doctor visits with you, you don't have to bring them to all of them if that's, it's not, I know it's not easy, especially for my son. I tried to schedule it sometimes during his preschool, because when he's with me, he's like crawling on the bed and ripping off the paper sheets and trying to like grab all of the wires off so I know it's stressful, but bring them to a couple so that they can hear the baby's heartbeat, maybe see the ultrasounds, maybe help them understand a little bit more. So that one was a good one. Another thing I did was show Cullen baby pictures of himself in our albums, so that he could see that he was really little, and this is what he did when he was a baby, this is what he wore, and this is what he ate, and pictures of him taking the tubby, so that he would have more of a concept of the baby's coming home. I never really think that it's a great idea when you're pregnant to tell your kids, oh, the baby's coming and they're going to play with you and this and this and that, because then they get confused, because when the baby comes, they're not going to play with them. They're going to be tiny, and you have to be very gentle and careful with them. So I think it's more important to teach them what to expect, what the baby's going to look like, that it's going to be small, that we have to be gentle and kind and nice, and more of that kind of stuff. And the playing will come later, and they'll get that when it comes. Another one was, I did this for my kids, but I don't really know if it made a difference with Cullen or if he really understood, was buying gifts for the baby to Cullen and from Cullen to the baby. When Cullen got his gift, he was just super excited to have a gift. Like, I don't think he understood the concept that it was from the baby. But then again, like I said, different kids, different things work. So that's a good tip, is to have the baby bring a gift for your older child in the hospital. We also got a baby doll, which was actually intended for Isla. One of my friends bought it for Isla, but Cullen was very interested in it, so I kind of used it as a tool in that sense. So we took the doll out, and we would talk about the baby. We put the baby in the crib, we put the baby in the bassinet, we put the baby on Mama's belly so that he kind of understood. And he was very gentle with the baby, and he would like pretend to like burp the baby, and then, you know, he would fling it and throw it across the room. But because they are 3 years old, they don't totally get it. But I do think that kind of helped as a tool for them to understand, this is where we put the baby in the swing. The baby's going to go in the swing, the baby's going to go in the crib, the baby's going to go over here, just to kind of understand more of how like the logistics are going to be, and again, to be gentle and nice with the baby. So that's another tip, to buy a baby doll and kind of help them understand how, maybe show them how to change a diaper, like anything like that, to get them involved and excited about it. And then my last two things are things to do after your baby comes. Now, I think that's really important, because your toddler is used to being your one and only love, your only attention, the king of the roost. That's what Cullen was. And he still is. But he's the king of the roost, she's the queen of the roost. That's how it is. But, you know, they're getting used to it. It's a big change. So I think it's really important to take time with them. So when I nurse Isla, I try to tell Cullen, come over, come sit with me and snuggle with him a little bit, or read him a book. And sometimes he's not interested, and that's okay, but I want him to know that I still want to spend that individual time with him. Even at nighttime, like Josh can watch Isla for a little bit, and I can go give Cullen a bath. I can put Cullen to bed and read him a book, just so that he's getting that individual attention. Josh will take him aside a lot and bring him to play basketball or wrestle. I just don't want him to feel left out, and that's a major point, is to just spend that little bit of individual time with your toddler even after the baby comes. I know it's hard when I'm home all day with both of them. I really don't have time to do that. So nursing is the only time when she's quiet and calm that I can kind of have him snuggle, come sit with him, and just have that one-on-one time. Sorry, is she waking up? Hold on one second. So we have a new visitor in the video. She woke up, so she's just gonna sit with me until the end. The last thing I wanted to mention was, after the baby comes, is to involve your toddler in taking care of the baby. Cullen will help me sometimes when I'm giving her a bath. He'll hold the washcloth or give me some of the soap for her in the bath, and it teaches him again to be gentle and nice. Or like if I'm changing, he's not at all interested when I'm changing his diaper. He's like, ew, poopy. But getting clothes for her, or getting me a spit up rag if I need it. Just little things to take care of the baby. He likes to do that. So those are all just little tips to try. But I do think the most important thing is just for them to understand that they're still loved and they're still important, and just to really also shower them with that attention as well, because it's hard to do when you have a new one in the house. And like I said, you don't want them, it's kind of hard to explain to them the entire concept of pregnancy and the baby's in your belly, and like how much can they really understand at 2 or 3 years old. But we really just focused on helping them to understand what to expect once the baby's here, and being gentle, and this is where the baby's going to be staying, and this is what we're going to be doing, more so than trying to explain the concept of the pregnancy. So if you guys have any tips, please comment below, and we can all share some tips that helped with new mamas. And if not, please subscribe again and let me know if you have any tips on other videos that would you like me to do. Thanks for tuning in. Bye!